All right, guys, let's get the big action of the night now. Let's get into it. The first, I do not want your pick, but I do want a few things from you. I want you to give me your keys to victory for Tio, and then your keys to victory for Lomo, and then go ahead and give me a breakdown on the fight. Just give me how you want to break it down. We don't have to start in any order, but I'm gonna come to El Capitan first. Lucas, go ahead.
Okay, so you want what am I doing now? You want
So
keys to victory for both?
keys to victory for both.
Oh man. If I'm Tio, I'm telling him to start early. Okay. I think for one thing, if Tio wins, it's probably going to be by knockout. Lomachenko, you're telling him to play El Matador for most of the fight. I mean, basically avoid, especially early on. I mean, you can lose the first couple rounds if need be. You're focused on not getting dropped, and that's the bulk of it for me. Now you don't want a prediction yet. You don't. You want to see how it's gonna go. You want me to tell you how I think it's gonna go, but not predict.
You know what? Just tell me. Yeah, go ahead with it all.
Go
Give
ahead
it
with it
all to
all.
me. Give it all.
I mean, you got some contrasting things that's gonna happen. I think, for one, Lomachenko definitely has him in experience, whereas he and speed. But Lopez has him on power and just overall brute strength. The question is not when, but or not if, but when he's able to actually land on Lomachenko, and I think you're going to see Loma hit the ground, hit the canvas once or twice. But it is going to be a very close fight, and I'm leaning towards Lomachenko's experience and being able to keep him at bay for the rest of the remainder of those at least 2 rounds that he got dropped in, and been able to win a very narrow split decision.
So you think it'll be Lomo by narrow split decision, Lucas?
A
Huh?
close fight.
And you think Lomo's gonna have to come off the canvas
Definitely,
again in this
definitely.
fight?
Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, if Jorge put him down, I think he's gonna have some problems with
That's
Tio.
very interesting take. I like it. Shakira, let's go ahead. Give us your takeaway, your keys to victory first.
I did like the part where Lucas was comparing it by saying that Lomo will have to be like, the matador in this situation because I do feel like his superior skills will be on display. Will he be able to be perfect an entire 12 rounds is what it comes down to me because we all know that the type of power that T.O. has, if it's unleashed the proper way, um, Lomo will not be getting up from that. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Linares doing a little quick, check hook on him and he popping right back up. I don't feel like that's the scenario. I feel that if he does get caught by To, then it's not gonna be a situation where he'll be, popping. It'll just be considered a knockdown. So, with that being said, I don't think that it's likely that someone can be perfect for 12 rounds, plus also gain all the rounds as win for each round. So I'm gonna have to go with Tio, guys. I'm going on a limb and I'm picking Tio, and the reason why is because I feel that Lumbo will not be able to avoid him for all 12 rounds. And all it's going to take is for him to have the leverage and the right power and speed one time. And he's going to be bye bye. So I go with youth and I go with power tonight over skill and quickness.
So are you looking at knockout Shakira? How's he
Yeah,
gonna win?
I am looking for a knockout. I do think that that's what happens. I'm pretty sure that that's what is in Tio's strategy. I'm sure him and his father feel like, if they can just work on spots and how to, like, when he pops in, one of his infamous, how he likes to go in and out at different angles. If they can time that correctly, I think they're going to be ready.
Okay, I respect your opinion. We're gonna go down the line here. I'm gonna go with Javier first. Javi, give us your keys to victory, and then just go ahead and go right into your breakdown and predictions.
My keys to victory for Lopez, it will be to apply smart pressure, uh, come forward, make Loma uncomfortable, do some Salido in there, do some Pedraza, mix a little bit of, what it has been working for the few times that it's been worked against Lomachenko when he fought these other fighters, and be smart. I know it's gonna be hard to be against the God in there, but you gotta be smart. You gotta be in your A game.
We know the guy was gonna come out. We knew that was gonna come out.
Our Lord and Savior, right? Happy Lord and Savior.
What can I say? I've never seen a man be so fluid and so just flawless in the ring. So that's why I think in the ring, Loma the God. So
Happy, did Lomachenko die for our sins?
Die for our boxing sins.
So I think, but like I said, I think it's gonna be that. But Lopez should have a B and C game plan in if case don't go his way, which they're not in the first with game plan A, basically. Keys victory for Lomachenko, he also has to be very, very, very smart in there. He has to give the kid respect. I know there's been a lot of trash talk between each other, trying to downplay each other skills and achievements. But at the end of the day, Lopez is a live dog in there. He has a very good chance, and he definitely has to be careful of the power. Because I agree with Sakura. If our right connects in there, it won't be what's the kid? Jorge.
Linares.
Yes.
No,
Linares.
If that connects the way that Linares connect, Lopez is gonna cause way more damage, and Lomachenko is not gonna be able to recover in faster way. He's gonna make him look human, basically, like Linares did. But Lomachenko has some angles. I think the beautiful thing about this boxing is that we haven't seen yet Lomachenko's 85%, 90%. I think we only seen up to 80%. So this kid is gonna break Lomachenko's 85, 95. Maybe the whole 100% of Lomachenko. We're gonna see the full potential. Because sometimes you need that dance partners that are gonna get the best out of you, and they both gonna bring the best out of each other. But I think Loma the God is gonna bless him. He's gonna baptize him, and they're both gonna come out way better than each other. But I think Loma's not blessed with power, so it's gonna be a technical fight that is gonna turn into a take these notes with you, and you're a good fighter. You'll be back. You'll do what you have to do. Just you know what I'm saying. Get your notebooks out. We're going to school, and that will be decision for Lomachenko.
All right, we do have some comments here. I'm sorry, Rob. Robert Purvis says Lomo feet hand game is superior, but I think Lopez power and youth will give him problems. Okay, Robert. Clarence says he agrees. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Javi, I already had you written down for Lomo. I was just trying to wait to see by what.
Decision.
All right, Malachi, you're up next, sir, on the list for me here. Let's go ahead and start with your keys to victory for each, and then your breakdown predictions.
Timing is for both of them.
Yeah.
Loma's going to have perfect timing, as of course said, when he does move in to those angles, especially when he tries to come in from the side. And the one time that his timing wasn't perfect, Jorge caught him coming in and dropped him. And as everyone here stated, if that happens in this fight, he's not getting up. If he does get up, it's going to end the same way the Comey fight did, with Lopez, bombing him out of there and the ref having to step in. For Lomachenko, I think the key is, can he hurt Teofimo enough with his punches? He's not a big puncher. He's a guy that makes you either quit mentally or he got that body shot off on Jorge in the last fight. He beats you up with accumulation of punches. Predominantly, most of the fighters that have lost to Lomachenko have already came into the fight beat. Tony Corolla might as well have just stayed in bed. There was no point in getting into the ring that night because he was beat. Luke Campbell, I think he was just happy, like, oh, I gave a great performance against Lomachenko.
Right.
None of these other guys are coming into this fight with the same mentality that Teofimo is going to come into this fight with. He's coming into this fight truly believing, I'm going to beat the hell out of this guy for everything he said, and I'm going to prove to the world that it's my time. The takeover is real. When is the last time you heard Lomachenko talk the way that Lomachenko's been talking leading up to this? I don't ever recall Lomachenko ever talking like he's talking. That tells me a little something, that these guys have gotten under his skin with all this talk. And he really wants to go out there and prove, I'm going to punish. If you hear what his words, I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to punish him. I'm going to do this and that. I'm going to make him feel pain. That could get him in trouble with this kid, because he's going to need to be on his A game with his ability to stay out of the way and stay defensively responsible, because this kid he's stupid athletic. He's got incredible quick twitch muscles. He hits like a horse, and he's young. He don't like Lomachenko, and he really believes he can win. This is nothing. And Loma's fought a lot of people, and you can say, well, he's already faced a guy like Teofimo in all the amateur fights, or at the WBC, the World Series of Boxing. He's already fought someone like him before. But I don't know if really he has, because this kid really don't like him. He really believes it's his time, and he's like, I had Kelly Pavlik on my show real fast to say this. He said this kid's about as close as you can get to the total package as there is. And he told me I wasn't crazy for taking Teofimo. Everybody here knows I'm taking Teofimo, except for Jules, because he just joined with me tonight. I'm taking Teofimo. Teofimo's going to knock this kid out.
Oh, man, not just a knockout too, huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Like you said though, a hyper-focused Loma, probably more of a bad thing for Teo, I would think.
I don't know if he's hyper-focused. I think he's a little bit emotional.
Loma, emotional. He's Russian.
Have you seen the way he's been talking? When did he ever?
Get emotional.
When has he ever started talking trash like this? To this level.
So just a little bit here. He's Ukrainian, not Russian. They don't like to be called Russian.
My bad.
Apparently. Jules, let's go ahead. Your keys for both and your breakdown.
All right. So my keys for victory for Teofimo is going to be put pressure. Don't allow Lomachenko to get set, because we know Lomachenko likes to move a lot. Put a lot of pressure on Lomachenko. Allow Lomachenko to fight on the back feet. Don't give him any space. Cut off that ring. We all know Lomachenko likes to use angles. Definitely cut off that ring. Value, throw lots of punches. You know what I mean? We all see that, as Malachi said, everybody said on here, Lomachenko likes to wear you down with his value. He makes people quit. But he makes people quit not just from his boxing ability, but he makes people quit because he throws a lot of damn punches. You know what I mean? He's in phenomenal shape. So Lopez has to definitely have some volume up. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that he should definitely work off the jab and also work off the hook as well. Because as we know that with Lomachenko, what side does he like to, when he throws his combos, what side does he like to angle off of? His dominant foot side, which is his right side, because he's in southpaw, right? So if Lomachenko is throwing some combos at Teofimo, and he steps up to the right side, if Lopez can cut off that ring, hit him with that nice little right hand left hook, and get him in the corner, he might have a shot. So, and lastly, the mental fortitude. He's got to get out of his head that this guy has more experience than him. He's got to get off his head that Lomachenko has fought big punchers before, because we know he has. We know he's fought a guy like Nicholas Walters, right, who was a big puncher. Remember when everybody was on Walters, and we saw what happened to Walters. In terms of very skilled boxers, he fought Ringendown. So we know that he has that experience against very good punchers and also very good boxers. So if he gets that out of his head, and as Malachi said, come to punish him and give him no respect, he can do his thing. In terms of Lomachenko needs to be Lomachenko. Like, that's really about it. Use those angles. That volume that he has in really, really good shape. We all know mentally he's tough, and I think that's one of the things that we keep forgetting about fighters. It's something from a fighter to be able to get back up and to make that guy quit like he did with Linares. That's mental toughness. You know what I'm saying? So we know that Lomachenko's going to have that. So all he has to do is just be him. You know what I mean? Definitely watch out for the hook in the right hand, because I'm sure that the father and the son looked at that as well in terms of his movement. Definitely have as much volume as you can. In terms of prediction, I am going with the boxing route, and I'm going to say we're going to get a controversial split draw so we can get Lopez versus Lomachenko 2 on that undercard of Fury versus Joshua next year. So I'm going with the controversial split draw.
See, I got this nice, pretty graphic of Loma on one side, Tio on the other, and now I got your name in the middle, my friend.
Lucas, I had to do. Listen. I don't show up on time for tough talk. You know I'm gonna mess up the whole thing. Why do you have a brother like me on here? You know that.
Hey, Jules. Now you brought up a good point, especially about cutting off the ring, because I believe, and I think most of you will also agree, that Lomachenko has some of the best feet in the game. Mm-hmm. Can he cut off the ring? Anybody. I mean, answer. I don't care. Anybody.
Oh, you saying can Tio
can Tio cut him off?
Yeah, I think it's possible. He's very athletic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tio's very athletic.
He'll be there 1 minute and he's over there the next. It's very athletic. So yeah, I do feel
There's a lot of athletic fighters that Lomachenko's already fought. I don't know if anybody could really cut off the ring on him. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. No worries. Let's be honest. I feel like Lomachenko is getting a lot of hubris as he's going up in weight. He's standing in front of guys toe-to-toe a lot. That's what he did against Linares, and that's how he got caught. You know what I mean? I feel like Lomachenko now is saying, you know what, I can stand toe-to-toe with the best of them. I don't know if he's going to do that against Lopez, but he's trying to prove that, you know what, I just don't run anymore. I don't know if it's age or if his legs are slowing down, but he's definitely shown that he's willing to stand toe-to-toe. If he does stand toe-to-toe with Lopez, that might be in his advantage. That might actually be where he gets, Lomachenko to back up.
I was going to say that the only way that I see Loma actually winning this fight is if it is like a unicorn type situation where he does the opposite, type of strategy that he usually has. So, like Jules is saying, stand there in the pocket, or, instead of going in and out with movements, maybe he's the aggressor. It's just the point of, does he really feel that he will be able to withstand one of those huge shots from Tio to do that? But I mean, the only possibility I see that Lomo could win is if he does do something out of his normal skill set. If he becomes somebody else, that a different strategy that we haven't seen from him, because of the fact that if he goes in and out like he usually does, it's a recipe for an upset, because I believe that Tio and his training team have trained and watched plenty of video and know just what Jules said, which is that he likes to lean to the right when he's digging in, for a body punch or, trying to let off a combination. Hey, so, I mean, he got to do something different.
I'm with you, Sakura, on the whole, watching tape and all that. And, he is athletic. He can do these things. The question is he able to? You forget Marquez and Pacquiao. Marquez has trained that punch for how many fights before he landed it? I mean, and he was getting beat up in that fight, too.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, because that's the very fight that I was thinking in my head. If I was in Tio's camp, I would tell them to watch that video, because Pacquiao was doing the same similar thing where he's going in and coming out on angles, and he gets busted jumping in.
But
but the thing,
he don't have that many rounds of experience like Marquez has with Pacquiao.
And also, as much as we love Pacquiao, and Pacquiao is a legend, Lomachenko has way better footwork technical aptitude than Pacquiao is. I'm not saying that was a lucky punch.
Yeah, far superior.
Pacquiao loves to lunge in. He loves to lunge in when he's throwing, and Marquez said, "Nope, sorry, good night. You're not lunging in this time."
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's basically like Lomachenko's less predictable than Pacquiao.
I was gonna say,
yeah, good. There you go. I'll agree with that.
More than 4, it took him 4 fights to make that, perfect punch come to life. And Tio won't have that on his side, like, hours in with Lomo, but he can take some serious, some serious little tips and skills from what that was in that fight, because I could see Lomo coming in from an angle just like Pacquiao was, and boom, there's that.
Yeah.
I want to say
I'm interested.
That punch.
I'm interested too to see how Lomachenko comes out early in the fight, because as Jules said, he has been standing in front of guys more, and we've seen him start to get hit a lot more, especially since the Pedraza fight. Tony Corolla didn't hit him at all; he just did whatever. But Luke Campbell and Pedraza had some luck against him and landed some nice punches. So I am interested to see that, because it's going to tell me whether or not they've gotten his head. Junior was on my show and told me before the Comey fight that Lomachenko actually went into Comey's locker room and was taking pictures with him and telling him how he was going to knock out Tio, that Tio wasn't anything. And then after the fight, he started telling everybody it was a lucky punch. I really wonder if they've gotten into his head, and I want to see if he's going to stand in front of him early on in the fight. And if he does, I think he's going to wish he didn't.
I'm with you, Malachi. If he's getting into his head and Lomachenko is being out of character, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I might actually change my prediction, but that's going to be a problem.
Come on, guys! Now you really think Lomachenko's just going to stand in front of him? I mean, he can stand in front of a guy like Luke Campbell and get away with it, but you actually think he's going to stand in front of Tio? I mean, just as the same as, them watching film on Lomachenko, you got to think that is not the best strategy to go about it. In fact, that's the worst way to go about this fight. I mean, and we're in the game, but we're not as far as this training team. Come on now. I mean, even a blind man can see you don't stand in front of Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, let me
Rob, you're the last one. You got to even out the graphic a little bit.
Let me forgive all of y'all for forgetting the host real quick.
It got heated,
It got heated, but it's gonna be okay. Let me just start you out with my keys to victory here, because I actually studied this one. As far as Teofimo goes, keys to victory. For one, I think you need to be prepared to possibly fight off the ropes. I think with that movement and everything Lomachenko is going to apply, with the pressure he's going to apply, with the angles that he's going to apply to you, I can see Tio backing up, and he's going to need to be prepared for that, and he's going to need to be prepared to try to fight off the ropes. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. I think he needs to use controlled aggression, because Lomachenko has yet to be frustrated, except for the Salido fight. Yes, I always judge him by that, but that is true. Once you frustrate him, we've seen what happens, and it leads to a loss. So he's going to have to use controlled aggression in this fight to frustrate him. And then the most important thing with Tio, do not panic. Do not panic. You're going to be in trouble in this fight, and when you are, you're going to need to strategize. You're going to need to adapt, but do not panic. Always believe in yourself. That's the biggest weapon he has, is his confidence. Keep that throughout the fight. For Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko's going to have to wear him down. Tio's the younger fighter in this one. Tio's the fresher fighter in this one. You got to be able to wear this kid down. Otherwise, he's going to build on that confidence. With that being said, you need to take him into deeper waters, because he's had a young career and he hasn't been that many rounds, especially in a championship fight, in those championship rounds. So you need to go ahead and test him there and take him into those deep waters. And then if you're Lomachenko, you need to kill that confidence early. Hurt him early. You need to kill that confidence right out the gate. Try to hurt him early to make him feel that power, because I believe if you do, he might cinch and back down a little, and that'll give you your shot.
Oh boy.
With that being said, this is the main event, because y'all know I'm very opinionated, and I'm very opinionated in my opinions. I just made that up tonight. I just made that
Opinionated
up
in my
tonight.
opinions.
Get to the predictions. Oh
I
my
just made it up tonight.
I'm very Man, if that's not redundancy, I don't know what is.
It's like a narcissist.
Yeah.
So listen.
Colin.
The winner of this fight, Rob Alexander, by knockout.
Rob said so.
Rob be like, I made good points for both people, so no matter who wins, I'm right.
I'm gonna say I won no matter which way. Because I said Coach key point.
Okay, listen. I'm very surprised that all of you pretty much, you guys are pretty much calling it like, not really dead even fight, but it's split here, and it's also split, but there's really a split decision for Lomo. A unanimous decision for Lomo. I have Lomo by TKO. TKO. Teofimo does not stand a chance in this fight. It's a TKO, and I'm calling it round 10. He gets his ass wore off Saturday night.
Well, we got Clarence, who said, Lucas, be careful, you lost the last pick, pick the right side. I said, haha, Loma has this. And then he went, come on, Rob, pick the right side. Knock it off, Rob. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. We got 3 now for Loma. Jules says draw. Malachi and Sakura got Teofimo.
God, I can't believe it. I mean, really, Rob, you're finna go for Lomo? The guy that you've argued for the last 2 years is not up to snuff.
You know why? Because Rob wants Tank Davis to be the one to beat Loma. That's why. We all know his agenda. He wants Tank Davis to be the one that beats Lomachenko so he can be on this show and say, I told you so, since 2016.
Look,
you might have a point, Jules. You might have a point.
Look, I'm for anybody beating Lomo. I'm for anybody who can beat Lomachenko. Teo's not the guy. He's not the guy. From what I've seen of Teofimo Lopez, it's like he's an overnight sensation. Now that's being harsh, Malachi. Yes, it is being harsh. I understand this.
Whoa.
But it is. But I understand this. But who has he fought other than Comey? Other than that, who have we seen him fight to build up to him being able to beat Lomachenko?
I have a friend who compared it to Vargas versus Trinidad. Remember Vargas versus Trinidad? When Vargas had so much hype behind him, and then he fought Trinidad, and then it was a good fight back and forth. And then once that fight finished, everybody kept saying that Vargas was pushed too early. And I have a friend who said that. He said, this reminds me of Vargas Trinidad.
The difference, I think, is Trinidad had true destroy you power.
Yeah, that's very true. That's what I said.
I mean, my thing is, I do feel that they've moved Teo a little fast, but I don't think that excludes him from being able to land something big on Lomo. So, to both can be true, I'm saying.
I fully expect, like we were talking about earlier with Lomachenko's feet, I expect him to be on it. And like I said, I have to be the Matador. Because really, I mean, like we were saying, it's kind of blatant that that's what he needs to do is outbox Teofimo. But not only that, I expect better footwork than what we've seen. I mean, you're going to have to rewind to like Rocky. I think he's going to constantly turn Teofimo, not be able to plant his feet, take away his power. I mean, take away Teofimo's power, and I mean, it'll be an easy win for Lomachenko if he can do it.
Go ahead.
I want to interrupt here if we have some time because listen, as much as essence boxing knowledge I talk. I'm just the guy who had barbecued wings from Papa John's. So, and Javi's the one who's in the gym. So, Javi, I want to ask you in terms of the footwork, right? As you know, you're always in the gym. You're boxing. In terms of the footwork, is there a way for Teofimo Lopez to stop that footwork of Lomachenko? You know, when he's always throwing those combos, and then he goes into angles and he's throwing combos. Do you think there's a way for him to stop that?
Yeah, I think definitely there is. Kind of like what Pedraza did. You know, like, not commit too much, and kind of like, you know, throw him off his game. And because the thing is, if Teofimo swings hard, right? When you swing hard, you get out of balance, right? So that's when Lomachenko frustrates you and makes you look bad, and he starts pivoting to the right, to the left, and you know, next thing you know, he's all over the place, not in front of you. But the way that Pedraza did it was he was punching, and it wasn't really hard punches, just keeping your balance, moving your head, being smart defensively or offensively. I think that will make Lomachenko think twice before moving around just that comfortable in there. So that's the way. I mean, like, that's why I said I think he needs that smart pressure to be there, and maybe some dirty tactics like stepping on his feet, you know, kind of like Shakur and going on.
Yeah, get it.
But Pedraza is used to that. That's something Pedraza does practically every fight. This is Teofimo, who's never had to do this before.
Right.
And can he pull it off in one fight? I mean, this is a whole new thing he has to go through, and it's a lot, especially with a guy like Lomachenko.
But look, you haven't seen him using a lot of footwork lately, and I don't know, because Lomo himself says he doesn't really like the weight in 135.
I'm sure he does.
Exactly, because it wasn't like you know, Linares had to pressure Lomachenko to get that knockdown. That knockdown was at the middle of the ring. Even me, I was like, oh snap, when he got knocked down. The issue is, to piggyback off Rob, is, and once again, it's funny you guys mentioned the Salido fight, because I watched that fight. What happened with that fight was Lomachenko was getting pissed off, kept his composure, and that fight started getting closer as the fight went on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Teofimo is also going to have to worry about. But same thing with Linares. When Lomachenko got knocked down, that's when he started putting the pressure on. So I think that he's got to be ready for more pressure going on the later rounds. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how Ali used to be. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was the type of guy where early in the rounds 1 to 4, you can beat his ass, right? But once 5 to 6 and 7, and he was getting his momentum, you were going to be in punishment. And I think Lopez has to be ready for that. He's got to be ready for Lomachenko. If it goes to the 7th, 8th, 9th round, then Lomachenko is going to put more pressure.
Yeah, so a few things I have here, a few observations. Number one, when it comes to Lomachenko, look, I say it all the time, you get mad at me because of early in his career. Salido gave you the blueprint. And the blueprint with Lomachenko is to get in there to where he can't throw those punches, to frustrate him, where you're holding him and everything, where he can't let his hands go. Because the reason why Lomachenko beats you down mentally is not just the amount of punches he throws, it's the accuracy. It's the accuracy in the punches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if
you're
smothering him and pulling him in to where he can't let his hands go, that's why he's frustrated. Because not because of the dirty, because he couldn't let his hands go, and that's where his bread and butter is. Now that
because that's what happened to Gary Russell.
Yeah.
Look, Salido is...
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say this, because I know y'all are going to y'all can talk all about me the rest of the night. This fight, though, right here, is Lomachenko's Floyd Mayweather moment. Yes, I just said that. He is going to dominate this fight in every capacity to where he's going to look like a Floyd Mayweather style fighter.
Look,
go ahead, Lucas.
My ears are bleeding from listening to Rob. Talk about Lomachenko like this. This is the guy that he said it was overhyped and it was not as special. But now I think he finally finally realized Loma the God, baby. Loma the God.
No, Rob is just a little intoxicated. That's what that is. He'll listen to this tomorrow and be like, "What the hell I just say?"
Yeah, the Salido fight keeps coming up. Now, Salido was a seasoned veteran, okay? Very experienced fighter. And this is what, Lomachenko's second pro fight? Stop with that shit, okay? It don't matter. Teofimo is an experienced amateur, really, just as much as he is compared to the pro. He does not have that experience. He will be outclassed in this fight.
Well, I agree with you, Lucas, but just to defend myself while we keep going back to the Salido fight,
you keep bringing that up.
He lost the fight. And once you lose to a fighter, you never recover.
I think he's already recovered, Rob. What are you talking about?
Let him fight Salido again. I bet he loses.
You know B-Hop lost like his first fight, right?
Did he fight the guy again?
I think down the line he did. But the thing about, like I said, the thing about Lomachenko is more than physical. This fight is so good that it's beyond the physical, because it's gonna come a moment where they both have to dig deep into the mental fortitude. And Lomachenko is that type of guy. He'll frustrate you. He'll first break you down systematically, then he break you down internally, then he disables your computer and your hard disk, and then he takes your soul, and then you got nothing there, and then you just this shell of yourself, and then he just basically doing carousels around you.
You go back into the Matrix.
We've and also, but we've seen Lomachenko do that already. We've seen him get up from knockdowns. We've seen him have to deal with a guy like Salido, who was 11, 12 pounds overweight, and bullying him. You know what I mean? We've seen that from Lomachenko. That's the only thing. Nothing Lomachenko. We can't say Lomachenko has to worry about the mental issue, because we've seen that. We can't say that he's going to have to worry about the physical issue, because he's dealt with a guy who weighed more than him. You understand what I'm saying? Personally speaking, yeah, exactly. My issue is, once again, I think Lomachenko, because Malachi said it, and that's what's worrying about me. Lomachenko might be out of character with the way that he's talking. If he's talking about, I'm going to knock this guy out, and he's a bum, and this and this and this, that's an issue to me. You know what I mean? Because that just means that he's going to be out of character and out of what we usually see from him, which is beautiful boxing, and he might try to become a brawler. And I tell you one thing, if he brawls with Teofimo Lopez, it's going to be a short night, and the next Tough Talk Tuesday, Rob's going to be like, I told you so, he was nothing, you know what I mean, and all that other stuff. So
I think people aren't giving Teofimo as much credit as I think he deserves for his actual boxing too. The boy can catch and shoot like none other.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was his IQ and his ring IQ that got him the knockout. Well, the knocked down versus Comey. It set it up. He knew if he dipped to his side, Comey was going to shoot off one way. It would leave him an angle to shoot off, and he caught him, and he destroyed him. And, you know, he was chicken-legged after that. He got up, and he threw about 50 punches to end the fight. So he does know how to end the fight. I like Tio to win the fight. I won't – even if he loses, though, I don't think he's going to go out there and get blown out the way that Canelo got blown out by Floyd Mayweather. Like Rob said, that's what he's looking for. I think that if he does go out there and he keeps this fight like I think he is, if he were to lose, very, very close, it can't do nothing but, as I think you and Javi said, skyrocket him into the future.
I agree, 100%.
I'm going to see this fight a lot like, Wilder Fury won. Fury pretty much outclassed him for the most part, but he was able to get him a couple knockdowns. Like I said, I believe Teofimo has the power to really hurt Lomachenko, and I think he will. But the thing is Lomachenko's been there, done that. He'll be able to get up and keep boxing. I mean, the experience is just there for me. I really don't see Lomachenko losing this fight. I mean, maybe I am. I mean, Rob, you got the records, right? Do you have records? Because we didn't need to update this anyway. So
yeah, we're undefeated.
What am I? 1 for 1? I think Malachi did pick both Charlos. So
yeah.
Well, I got it written down. I can pull it up real quick. But I just wanted to say to Malachi, actually, go his way real quick. I'm turning. I did say he's gonna get wiped out by Lomachenko, but I said more than that. And the reason why I said more than that, because I'm gonna use what you used. I'm gonna say what you used against you. it's because of that mentality that Lomachenko is in, that he felt disrespected, is why he's knocking this guy's ass out.
Okay.
That's why it's a TKO.
You came to Malachi. I got to come back to Jules, buddy. I'm sorry. I can't let the draw go. I can't. Now look, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go as your prediction is a draw. But if you had to lean one way or other, who would you pick? Gun to your head, you got to pick the winner. Who do you pick?
Oh man,
You
gun
gotta-
to my hand. I'm getting shot.
Come on, man. I gotta put you on the spot. It's tough talk.
You know what? If I had to lean towards it, though, I'm going to be honest with you. I got to go with Lopez. You want to know why?
Sure.
I hate to say it, but I think Lomachenko's legs are going out at the weight. That's my thing. I think his legs are going out, and he still has the movement, just not as much. I don't think Lopez is going to knock him out. That I'm not going to say. I don't think so. I think actually Lomachenko has a better chin that we're giving him for. But I think that he's going to be stationary a lot more than he should be, and I think he's going to hit more than what we're seeing. So I'm actually going with Lopez. If I had to pick, I would go Lopez by split decision. I'm going to go Lopez split decision.
Okay, all right. Sherman Henson just commented picking Lomachenko.
Okay.
So, based off of the last fights that we called, Shakura, you're 1-1. Javi, you're 1-1. Malachi 2-0. Lucas 1-1, and I'm 2-0.
We'll see next week. Now, guys, I'm gonna ask you all here. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, but Saturday night after the fights, depending, we may have a show, so you're all more than welcome to join right after.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
For sure. Yeah, because I'm going to be on here celebrating.
Oh, hell yeah. You don't have to ask me twice. I'm going to be so hyped. I'm going to try to limit my alcohol intake so I can, be fluid and be able to have a conversation with you guys. But I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to be all over the place. No matter who wins, because at the end of the day, we try to lean to who we want to win and everything. But the bigger win here is boxing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree
I
more.
agree.
And the bad part is I was on Bob earlier, and Bob, made this fight happen. Yes, but is he promoting it? Does anybody know it's happening on ESPN? I don't see nothing about it.
Yeah,
I don't see nothing about it. If you follow boxing, you know. But if
they
you are
advertising it
nobody
on football games and everything.
on ESPN though, but not on other channels.
I agree.
You gotta branch
out.
out.
It's on ESPN.
You gotta branch out.
That-
You have to
that-
see posters. You have to see commercials, and the shit's still not happening. This is an amazing fight on free TV. It should be plastered everywhere. This can get way more views than what they're even attempting to get, and it's angering. Now, this is great for boxing fans. This is great for all of us, but I think it still could hit a peak that it's not hitting.